I'm riding shotgun with you on this, except for one little caveat. Like those people were warlike and cannibals, and we came here and we just did more war with them, and we won the war. That's how I see that whole thing. However, after the wars were finished, we signed treaties and agreements with them that went all the way up to the president of the United States. These were official documents that we then reneged on. And you know what I hate more than anything? It's someone who goes back on. And so when you do that,
pussy.
It's a better joke to go. It's a better joke. It's harder, and it's still like
it's a better joke for me to tell you to fucking say it, pussy. What is someone who reneges?
And whenever we found out that the land we had given them to live on was more valuable than we thought it was, whenever petroleum came into a thing, we're like, holy shit, we didn't know oil would be that valuable. They live on the oil. Or whenever we find mineral rights, whether it's uranium back in the day, I think they took the Black Hills from them over maybe uranium finds, or maybe it was just gold and silver.
I'm done caring about any of this Indian shit. I'm wrong. It's renege. It's not renege.
That was what the video was, the pronunciation of renege.
I thought it was renege.
You've corrected on them so many times that I've looked it up before. It happens to me a lot. I'll research shit off show.
It's renege.
Like, I don't really know. Right. Yeah. And Kyle, I also think the structure of your joke was amazing. You know what I hate more than anything else? Someone who goes back on their word. And then you go behind it into the Indian thing, and I'm like, oh my God, he dances circles around this. I thought it was great. I hope other people appreciate it.
That was very fun.
No, but we did. We went back on our word, and I don't like that. If you're gonna make an agreement with them and say, look, end your war.
Kyle, what do you call someone who doesn't ever go back on their word based on that terminology? Someone who
oh my God, you removed the re? Is that what's happening here?
I don't know, Woody. Is that what's happening? Someone who always follows through.
Hang on. Let me...
You know what it fucking is.
Hang on. Oh. It's a D. I was like, what's the opposite of the prefix re? It's D. It's duh.
Oh, now you're on the hard.
Now, yeah, it goes the other way. When the prefix becomes duh, you have to pronounce it the other way. That's what Webster says. Those are the rules.
All right. Well, we put our trust in Webster's.
Yeah, that's a little too on the nose, if you know what I mean. That's too close to the sun. My waxy wings.
That is not a standard English word.
You're fucking Icarus over there.
No, it's not. But still, like if you follow the logic of the prefix becoming the opposite. Yeah. Fair enough. But no, that's
for the audience. That was more of a syntactical joke.
Yes. For the three English professors out there and no one else. But yeah, like that's the only caveat I have about the Native American thing, because the most part, those people were like lawless, who tortured, raped, enslaved, and murdered each other before we even showed up. And then they did that and more to us. There was the Native Americans came into this town to talk peace, and with them they brought some white captives that they had been holding, and the girl had been so badly treated that they just killed all the Indians right there. Her face had been burnt off. They every night
the white girl had been so badly treated.
Yeah, okay. They had like cut her nose off and like.
Which tribe was that?
Oh, it would be either
I'm not trying to catch you. I'm just curious.
No. I could only narrow it down to like three, and it would be like the Apache or the what's the one whose name means enemy?
Comanche.
Comanche. It would be one of those, because it was the Texas ones that would always run away and kidnap people, and the ones the Texas Rangers were always fighting. So I think it was Comanche. But like they showed up, they're in a courtroom, like having this meeting with like these chiefs and stuff, and then the chiefs were like, "Yeah, we brought you these girls back," and they're like massacred. And when the people saw them, they were like, "You're not leaving here alive," and just killed them all. But the problem was they had even more captives just outside of town, so they murdered all of those captives, enslaved
not so
people too. They would burn their feet every night whenever they were near enough to like salvation, so they couldn't run away while they were asleep. They would like take hot steel and burn the bottoms of their feet so they couldn't run away. Just all sorts of ritualized torture and rape and enslavement.
The Europeans did that. Oh,
No. Well, I mean, yeah, but that was different. They were doing it to each other.
I don't like
forever,
that.
too. Yeah, all people are shitty.
We're the good guys. We brought civilization. They were banging on rocks, and then we were like, "Hey, yo, check out dope ass civilization."
Well, it's not quite that bad, but the idea that they were like Pocahontas living at peace with nature. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or raped the little girl while she screamed? That's what they were more about. That's what Pocahontas would have been.
That's
like,
probably what Pocahontas was
"Put your
actually
eyes
about.
away from her pretty face."
She was like, "This guy John Smith can't possibly be any worse than chief fucking ass that I'm leaving."
Yeah, I don't know about that story in particular, but yeah, they were awful people, most of them, and so were we. But like the idea that they were like living at peace with nature and these wonderful, like they had some sort of utopia or something is just fucking nonsense.
Yeah, they were Stone Age. We like it was literally the same as if you and I played each other in Civ, where I'd be like, you know, this pottery thing is starting to come along. I only need one more turn, and then you show up with cannon galleons and just molest me. Like that's what happened.
Well, the smallpox did the killing. The smallpox killed 90% of the native populations of North and South America. 90%. So when it came time to do that Wild West, Cowboys win the day because we got 6-shooter shit, it helped that 90% of them were
Well,
gone.
that was a happy accident because Europeans had no understanding of germs.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about the stories of smallpox blankets because I'm not sure to what extent they even understood.
I've heard that was nonsense. They
time.
didn't understand how diseases spread.
Yeah, but I mean, we've talked about it before. But the reason that Europe was plague making factory, it had all of these filthy cities that did a poor job of separating their drinking water from their sewage water. Cholera was rampant. It also had all these ships coming into these concentrated populations. And the thing about plagues, the way you get a plague is you keep feeding the fire and letting it mutate. Normally, like in the societies like they had in North America and South America, they were separated by huge amounts of territory. So if you had something jump over and some flu began in this tribe, it would burn out. There was no way for it to get more fuel. But when these European cities, they were repopulating at such a rate that it kept ahead of the plagues. They could never burn themselves out. And they also, Europe and Eurasia is where, like, I think 10 of the 12 domesticatable animals in the whole planet. There's only like 12 domesticatable animals, and that's if you count honeybees.
Oh, stop it. Do you think if you put a bunch of Germans in Zimbabwe, they wouldn't get the zebras in check?
Anyway, not going down this racist path again, but because we had all of those domesticated animals and we were living hand in hand with them, it was much easier for those the germs to jump from a bird to a cow to us. A lot of the things that we consider plagues don't know they're in people. They think they're in cows, pigs, sheep, stuff like that. Cows and pigs and sheep don't mind things like they mind, but it doesn't kill them. Smallpox doesn't kill cows.
Really?
Tuberculosis doesn't kill cows. It kills us. Rapidly.
Cows can get infected by smallpox.
Tuberculosis in particular, I know, is a cattle disease.
That's the one, yeah, where like, and they noticed that dairy farmers, milkmaids, I think they were never getting smallpox. It's because they were like had mild introductions of it from the cow, and that sort of related to the formation of vaccines, I think.
So then
that's really cool if it's true.
So then our whole population of Europe and Eurasia to some extent are sort of inoculated against diseases like smallpox. Once you get it and you survive, you made it. And I don't know this for sure, but I would imagine your children have a better extent to some extent have a better chance of also having what allowed you to survive from it. But then you throw those diseases that we have been basically breeding and culturing and like pumping up on the steroids of our peasant class for hundreds and hundreds of years in our European cities.
Yeah.
And you throw it into North and South America with a brand new group of people that have never even had a disease like that. They hadn't domesticated
90%
death rate.
And so they were not
all of them
accustomed to it. That's really sad. 90%.
No, it's not. It's fucking awesome. That's why we're here. That's why we're fucking here. That's why.
You think
like,
we needed smallpox?
That's why their
to
legacy
dominate
is naming our
Stone Age
football
tribes,
teams after
dude?
them. That's why their legacy is having tobacco named after them and fucking trendy cigarettes and shit, and not running the greatest empire the planet's ever known. That's what.
Did Kyle mention the
pretty good?
Poor plumbing in his like
You get me,
disease
bro.
spreading?
We're the strongest that's ever been.
The most powerful, the richest, most powerful, most productive, most technologically advanced, most culturally diverse empire that's ever existed.
But I
in the
think
history of mankind.
structuring it the way a lot of people
Not even
nowadays
close.
like to do, with hindsight being 2020, where they're like, they gave them smallpox. It's like you're giving too much like germ credit to people who lived in 1500. They had no idea. They were like, yeah, I get sick sometimes because I live around 1 million cattle.
You can miss the forest for the trees, though, because like it was very common to throw plague victims into the city you were besieging with catapults and stuff. So they knew that like they thought they were like the stink of a dead sick person was what was getting you sick. Now we know that's ridiculous. That's methane gas and shit that's coming off. That's rotted meat.
Is it that?
But the
wrong,
idea is
though?
close
Because
enough.
It's kind of close.
It's close
right?
enough. It's not the stink, but being in close proximity to this dead thing is bad for you. And so just making that connection alone was enough to use the heads of some plague victims as biological warfare. But I just think the systematic addition of like smallpox and cholera to the Native American populations, like you couldn't build a machine to make it happen the way it did. Like it just happened. Found it. Here's a human skull for sale.
For
all right, guess how much it costs.
1,200.
Wait, for what are you getting for the cost?
Okay.
100%.
It is a human skull. The teeth look mostly gone, but it's for realsies, like the jawbone. It's a human skull, the whole thing.
Is there a
Did I nail
backstory?
it? Your smile made me think I nailed it.
Well, hold on. Is there a backstory to the skull?
No backstory.
I'm going to say $210.
$1,250. Woody comes in $50 under. Price is Right rules still work, and just I mean he's going to the major showcase after this one.
That's great, and I'm glad I didn't guess on it.
Spinning that wheel.
Yeah. I think I got a link here. Maybe I think I copied it. Yeah,
But what you should know, Kyle, is that no federal law prohibits private individuals from owning, buying, or selling non-Native American human remains. Non-Native American, so they get special privilege.
They needed it, Taylor. We were cutting chunks off of them and selling them.
I thought they were cutting chunks off of us and like wearing them as braids.
Yeah, but we won, and I would like to believe that if the Native Americans had won, they would have also eventually made a law.